In engineering metrology, for every kind of quantity to be measured, there must be a unit to express the result of measurement and a standard to permit making the measurements by maintaining the uniformity throughout the world. A standard is defined as a something that is set up and established by authority as a rule for the measurement of a quantity, weight, extent, value, or quality, and etc. Any system of a measurement must be related to a known standard, otherwise, the measurement has no meaning. Industry, commerce, international trade, and in fact, modern civilization itself would be impossible without a good system of standards. The role of standards is to support the system which makes uniform measurement throughout the world and helps to maintain the interchangeability in mass production. A measuring system is based on a few fundamental units as like length, mass, time, temperature, and etc. All the physical quantities can be expressed in terms of these fundamental units. The following system of measurements are in use in different countries. First is a FPS system. This system is being inconvenient, is steadily losing its popularity. Second is a metric system. Metric system is a predominant system in the world due to its simplicity for calculation purposes than FPS system. It is a decimal system of a weight and measure. It is based on a meter as a unit of length, kilogram as the unit of a mass, and unit of a temperature is a degree Celsius. Third is a SI system. This system is an extension and a refinement of the metric system. It is more convenient and superior to other systems. This SI system, like traditional metric system, is based on a decimal arithmetic. It provides only one basic unit for each physical quantity. It is a comprehensive because its 7 basic units cover all disciplines. The need for establishing standards of length was raised primarily for determining agricultural land areas and for erection of buildings and monuments. The earliest standards of length was established in terms of parts of a human body. The Egyptian unit was called a cubit. It was equal to the length of a forearm, that is from elbow to the tip of a middle finger. Rapid advancement made in engineering during 19th century were due to improved material available and more accurate measuring techniques developed. It was not until 1855 that first accurate standard was made in England. It was known as the Imperial Standard Yard. This was followed by international prototype meters made in France in the year 1872. These two standards of length were made for material and hence they are called as material standards in contrast to wavelength standard adopted as a length standard later on. This standard was established originally by International Bureau of Weights and Measures in the year 1875. The prototype meter is made of 90% platinum and 10% iridium alloy. having a cross section as shown in the figure. The upper surface of the web is highly polished and has two fine lines engraved over it. It is inoxidizable, have a good finish required for ruling good quality of lines. The bar is kept at 0 degrees Celsius and under normal atmospheric pressure. It is supported by two rolls of at least 1 centimeter diameter symmetrically situated in the same horizontal plane. The distance between the rollers is kept 589 millimeter so as to give the minimum deflection. The web section chosen gives a maximum rigidity and economy of a costly material. The distance between the center portions of two lines engraved on the polished surface of this bar of a platinum iridium alloy is taken as 1 meter. According to this standard, the length of the meter is defined as a straight line distance at 0 degrees Celsius between the center portion of a pure platinum iridium alloy of 102 centimeter total length and having a web cross section as shown in figure. The material standards are influenced by effects of a variation of environmental conditions like temperature, pressure, humidity and aging, and it is thus changes in length. These standards are required to be preserved or stored under the security to prevent their damage or destruction. The replica of these standards were not available for use somewhere else. These are not easily reproducible. Conversion factor was to be used for changing over to metric working. Considerable difficulty is experienced while comparing and verifying the sizes of gauges. The disadvantages of material standards may lead to the errors of unacceptable order of magnitude. It therefore becomes necessary to have a standard of a length which will be accurate and invariable. Jacques Pabinet, a French philosopher, suggested that wavelength of a monochromatic light was be used as a natural and invariable unit of a length. Seventh General Conference of Weights and Measures approved in 1927 the definition of a standard of a length relative to meter in terms of a wavelength of the red cadmium as an alternative to international prototype meter. Orange radiation of isotope krypton 86 was chosen for a new definition of a length in 1960 by the 11th General Conference of Weights and Measures. The committee decided to recommend that krypton 86 was the most suitable element, that it should be used in a hot cathode discharge lamp maintained at a temperature of 63 degree Kelvin. According to this standard, meter was defined as equal to 1650763.73 wavelength of the
red orange radiation of a krypton isotope 86 gas. The standard was now defined can be reproduced to an accuracy of about 1 part in 10 raised to 9. The meter and yard were redefined in terms of a wavelength of a orange krypton 86 radiation as 1 meter is equal to 16,50,763.73 wavelength and 1 yard is equal to 0.9144 meter. It is not a material standard and hence it is not influenced by effects of a variation of environmental conditions like temperature, pressure, humidity and aging. It need not be preserved or stored under security and thus there is no fear of being destroyed as in case of a meter and yard. It is not subjected to destruction by wear and tear. It gives a unit of length which can be produced consistently at all the times in all circumstances at all the places. In other words, it is easily reproducible and thus identical standards are available with all. The standard is easily available to all standardizing laboratories and industries. There is no problem of transferring this standard to other standard meter and yard. It can be used for making comparative measurements of a very high accuracy. The international standard yard and the meter cannot be used for general purpose. For practical measurement, there is a hierarchy of working standards. Thus, depending upon their importance of accuracy required for the work, the standards are subdivided into 4 grades. These are primary, secondary, tertiary, and working standards. For a precise definition of the unit, there shall be one and only one material standard which is to be preserved under the most careful conditions. It is called as a primary standard. International yard and international meters are the examples of primary standards. Primary standard is used only at rare intervals, say after 10 to 20 years, solely for comparison with secondary standards. It has no direct application to measuring problems encountered in engineering. Secondary standards are made as nearly as possible exactly similar to primary standards as regards design, material and length. They are compared with primary standards after long intervals and the records of deviations are noted. These standards are kept at a number of places for safe custody. They are used for occasional comparison with tertiary standards whenever required. Tertiary standards. The primary and secondary standards are applicable only as ultimate control. Tertiary standards are the first standards to be used for reference purposes in laboratories and workshop. They are made as a true copy of secondary standards. They are used for a comparison at intervals with working standards. Working standards. Working standards are used more frequently in laboratories and workshops. They are usually made of a low grade of material as compared with a primary, secondary, and tertiary standards for the sake of economy. A length may be measured as the distance between two lines or as the distance between two parallel faces. So the instrument for direct measurement of linear dimensions fall into two categories. One is a line standard, two is a end standards. Line standards. When the length is measured as the distance between centers of two engraved lines, it is called as a line standard. Both material standards, yard and meter, are line standard. The most common example of a line measurement is the rule with a division shown as the lines marked on it. The scales can be accurately engraved, but the engraved lines themselves possesses thickness and it is not possible to take measurements with high accuracy. A scale is quick and easy to use over a wide range. The scale markings are not subjected to wear. However, the leading ends are subjected to wear and this may lead to undersize measurement. A scale does not possess a built-in datum. Therefore, it is not possible to align the scale with the axis of a measurement. Scales are subjected to parallax errors. Also, the assistance of a magnifying glass or a microscope is required if a sufficient accuracy is to be achieved. When length is expressed as a distance between two flat parallel faces, it is known as a end standards. Examples: measurement by slip gauges, end bars, ends of micrometer anvils, vernier caliper, etc. The end faces are hardened, lapped flat, and parallel to a very high degree of accuracy. These standards are highly accurate and used for measurement of close tolerances in precision engineering as well as in standard laboratories, tool rooms, and inspection departments. They require more times for measurement and measure only one dimension at a time. They are subjected to wear on their measuring faces. Group of slips can be rung together to build up a given size. Faulty ringing and careless use may lead to inaccurate results. End standards have built-in data since their measuring faces are flat and parallel and can be positively locked on datum surfaces. They are not subjected to parallax offset as their use depends on a feel. In a principle, length is expressed as the distance between two lines. The length is expressed as the distance between two flat parallel faces. Accuracy of a line standard is limited to plus minus 0.2 millimeter for high accuracy. Scales have to be used in conjunction with magnifying glass or a microscope. Accuracy in case of a N standard, which are highly accurate for measurement of a close tolerances up to plus minus 1 micron. Effect of a wear in line standard, scale markings are not subject to wear. However, significant wear may occur on leading ends. Thus, it may be difficult to assume 0 of a scale as a datum. Effect of wear in N standards, as these are subjected to wear on their measuring surfaces. Manufacture and cost. Line standards are simple to manufacture, having a low cost. In standards, manufacturing process is complex and also the cost is high. Parallax effect. In line standards, they are subjected to parallax error. In standards are not subjected to parallax error. Examples. Scale is an example of line standards, whereas for N standards, slip gauges, end bars, vernier calipers, and micrometers are the examples.